Armen, you seem in a bad mood today. Channel that into the podcast. I'm curious how this will turn out.
All right.
Gain.
We'll hide those. Whoa.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful.
Guys, I think Daniel threw me into the bottom of a giant room.
I think Daniel just threw you into the danger zone.
I'm in the brig of a very large space vessel.
Mm-hmm. Drip.
What the fuck was that? Oh, fucking shitballs! You guys, please get me out of this brig. This is very dangerous.
Don't worry, Armen, we got you. Here you go. I'm reaching my hand to you now.
Oh wow, thank you. Wait, there we go.
It looked pretty wet. It looked pretty wet and scary down there.
I wish we had a creaky door close, but that door was very well oiled. You didn't even hear it open, swing, or shut.
If only we had someone who edit this podcast who had access to a sound effects board.
Too bad we don't have that. Welcome to this episode of Scale is Needed.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, what's up?
Not much.
Nope, nothing.
I am riding a sugar high.
Nice.
And it's time for us to do this.
What kind of sugar are we talking here?
Starburst.
Oh, yeah.
The best kind of sugar.
It's a girl's candy, but that's fine.
The kind of sugar that you kind of just chew and then at some point just give up on chewing and swallow the oddly textured goop that it becomes. Which is really, I think, reminiscent of
that's like just
futility of man.
That's most chewing, though, isn't it? You just chew it, and then you swallow the stuff that you chewed.
Right, but
once it's like a paste.
Starburst
I just like to eat lots of tortilla chips, no chewing. It's just very pointy on the way down. Just fistfuls of tortilla chips. Shit hurts on the inside.
Starburst, it doesn't feel like, when you chew normal food, you chew it, and at some point it feels like it's been processed into what it's supposed to be processed into.
Whereas Starburst is left on your teeth as cavities.
Yes,
so it becomes you leave cavities in your mouth as
boring its way into your brain through your teeth.
Starburst is like magic. Like you chew it, and instead of becoming something that feels chewed and ready to be swallowed, it transforms into yet another oddly plastic texture.
It was like someone took Skittles and was like, these hard candy shells are too much work. Let's peel those bitches off. I want to get at them chewy insides. Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, when we were all kids, candy had their own lane. You know what I mean? Skittles was Skittles, Starburst was Starburst. Now and laters were now and laters, and so on and so forth. Now it's like you can get chewy fucking sweet tarts. You can get, Starburst ropes. Like, you know what? I want my rope candy to stay my rope candy. I want my sweet tarts to stay my chalky sweet tarts.
You want anyone with a penis to use the men's bathroom, and anyone who was born a woman to use the woman's bathroom.
Actually, hold on a second. That is a great segue.
Is it though?
It is a great segue.
I don't think it's a great segue.
Wherever you're segueing into, I don't want to go there.
We're talking fitness.
Are we?
And what more?
I wasn't done with candy yet.
No. We're moving on because you gave me a perfect segue here.
Cool.
In Melbourne, Australia, this past weekend, the first Kiwi transgender weightlifter won gold in an international competition. She showed up and she won by 19 kilos over second place, and is now kind of like a favorite to take a team or be on the team for the Commonwealth Games, which is like Commonwealth Games is like. It's like one of the largest international weightlifting meets in the world, outside of World Championships and Pan Ams. And obviously, understandably, some people it's a bit of a divisive subject. Some people are like good on her for making that happen, and she followed every rule. I think part of the rules that the IOC or that weightlifting commission laid out is like, you have to show that you're under a certain testosterone level for the 12 months leading up to your meet, and she met all of those commitments.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of people who don't necessarily agree. And it's a really touchy subject.
I'm certainly not going to touch it.
I would
not
I
on
would
this
love
podcast.
to. Yeah, I think that
you're not-
we should fucking talk about this.
You know, Armen, when I said whatever you're segueing into, I don't want to go
What
there.
the-
It's
what-
I'm
why not?
No.
Not touching it with the 10-foot pole, Armen.
This isn't.
Let's
what
talk
the hell
about-
just happened to my microphone?
It's not the microphone. He just turned the monitor levels down.
Okay. Why don't you guys want to talk about this?
It's there's just no good way to come out on that ish. Do the thing. So yeah,
What did you just say?
I'm all done talking about this.
What? That's bullshit, guys. No. I'm.
We don't live in a country where people can talk about whatever they want anymore. There's certain things that you're just not allowed to talk about, and you get crucified if you do. And there's just apparently, like, even if you try and come out and say nice things about certain things, then you still get crucified. So no, not touching it.
If only we had someone who can edit this podcast if we said something we didn't
We
want.
don't know. That's the problem. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say.
I get it. I guess you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right?
Correct.
There's either direction you kind of take on this.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of pushback.
Yep. Thank you for bearing that cross for us,
Yes.
Armen.
Yes. Thank you, Armen.
Well, I mean, now I don't feel like I'm in a safe place. I feel like
You're not. Just merely even having brought it up exposes you.
Well, we got a lot of feedback. A lot of people have really strong opinions on this.
Good. Good for them.
You guys are fucking pussies.
I
dude.
feel happy only about the fact that there is a quantity of opinions. But the nature of those opinions, I don't feel I can weigh in on.
This is fucking
Armen,
terrible.
it sounds like there's a healthy discourse happening about that. Good to know.
First of all, fuck you, Daniel, for bringing up the Safe Place logo. And second of all, fuck you, Cliff and Kyle, for not actually wanting to talk about a subject that is at least the most topical fucking thing.
What subject is that, Armen?
I fucking hate you guys so much.
I'm confused.
This show sucks. This show sucks. Can't fucking talk about transgender weightlifters. Anyway, fine. I mean,
I'm sorry, Armen's mic cut out there for a second. I didn't hear what he said.
I don't know what to do with this part of the podcast now. I don't know what to do. Do I keep writing it? Do I just keep repeating the same fucking thing over again? Oh, God damn it.
Welcome to this episode of Scale is Needed, everybody.
I'm back in this fucking brain.
Armen goes back in the hole. I will take him out again. Listen, guys, we got to do something about Armen. We're not letting him out of this hole until he figures shit out.
You guys.
Armen, quiet.
It's dark down here.
There could be drones circling us at this moment. All right, alternative plan. We just pour a lot of water in the hole.
I'm not quite dead yet.
It sounds like there's a lot happening in the world of fitness, and I think that's the lesson to take away from that thing.
I fucking hate you guys so much.
This is so annoying to the people listening. We have to move on. Cliff, you saw Fittest on Earth 10
sure
years
did.
in.
Sure.
The sequel that followed 10 years after the original film.
Sure enough. So, Fittest on Earth, the second Fittest on Earth.
Nice segue.
Yep, is unfortunately, here's the problem. I would be fine with Fittest on Earth, the first one and the second one, as simply videos posted on the CrossFit site, recapping the games, and that's all good CrossFit media. And we'd be fine with it. My problem is where they try to have the pretense of this being a real movie, a real documentary, as a thing that they're going to put on iTunes, charge money for, and they're going to have screenings in movie theaters where people show up at movie theaters, try to watch it like a real movie. The first Fittest on Earth, and especially the second Fittest on Earth, only 1 year later, aren't real movies. They're not real documentaries. There.
You mean it's just more propaganda out of CrossFit media?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When you have a real feature-length documentary, say, playing at a film festival, and I just came from a film festival and saw several of those.
Cliff's still recovering from earlier.
Oh, I know.
Like, there's like tears running down his face.
Exactly. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
trying
throwing
to
me in the
muscle
Brig
through.
was really fucking sad. I know. I also was crying.
I'm crying for the loss of Armen. We might never see him again.
Fucking hate you guys so much.
Armen, you did this to yourself.
Yeah. So, the long and short of it is, hey folks, you're into CrossFit. You saw the first Fittest on Earth. How does the second one compare? The second one compares like the 2015 CrossFit Games compared to the 2016 CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Way less dramatic and interesting. Now, the 2016 CrossFit Games, I was a fan of the tests, of the selection, all that stuff is fine, but we all knew from watching it was not nearly as exciting coming down to the end. The athletes were not as brutalized by the super hot Murph or anything like that.
Yeah.
There was not a real dramatic finish to either the men's or the women's this year.
Yeah.
So all of what little made the original Fittest on Earth have a little bit of drama, a little bit of a real documentary.
The
feel.
original
really
one
isn't.
was the Ben Smith year?
Yeah, it's Ben Smith.
Okay,
year,
so
yeah.
that had a really dramatic. I haven't seen either film. So
I know.
don't know. So
But
did they make the first one make good drama out of the whole big finish between Matt Fraser and Ben Smith?
Not really, but at least that was featured as a subject matter. So there you go.
Yeah.
No, the problem is that if they were making a real documentary, something that would play at a film festival, like for realsies, what you'd do is you'd follow one athlete or something, or have a more limited scope, as opposed to the problem that both these movies are burdened with is the obligation to be a comprehensive event by event breakdown of every single event at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
So they literally go through all 15 events, including printing on screen what the event is and the rep scheme, and then having multiple perspectives weigh in on how that particular event went for all of them, even the uninteresting ones, even when there's nothing to say.
Clearly for a hardcore CrossFit.
Oh, exactly.
audience.
No, here's the thing. As just a video recapping the games, great. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's fine, but the problem I have is the pretense of trying to make it a quote, real movie, put it on iTunes, put it in movie theaters there.
Yeah.
It's really just not appropriate for that. That said, great content. You should watch it. If you are into CrossFit and watch the CrossFit Games live, hey, member that? It's member berries, basically.
Member berries for the
How does it
Remember
compare to like Every Second Counts? The other, like the first of the CrossFit movies.
Yeah, I mean, Every Second Counts was much more like a real movie there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Every Second Counts was, but it also existed at a time where the movie was kind of trying to introduce the audience to the idea of CrossFit. It was a film about this weird phenomenon that was happening in California mostly, So as I remember watching it at the time. At the time when it was like a specialty DVD you had to order once they put it out there, and we. And it was just the kind of thing, like a part of the job of the documentary was to just explain this weird thing called CrossFit to people. And I just remember, I remember how Jason Khalipa ruined their movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great because they were following Josh Everett, they were following OPT, they were following all of these people. And then out of nowhere, a fucking spoiler, in the very last event, Jason Khalipa, because it was still in the Every Second Counts format, surges ahead and takes the lead. And they had not 1 second of footage with him.
Oh, yeah, and I remember they made jest of the fact that they had no footage, that maybe no one got that. Maybe no one was actually videotaping him with it, which certainly their cameras weren't.
And what is it? They even I think they cut back to like a shot of like Jason Khalipa at like the periphery of like the athlete briefing near the end. It's like just some guy in the background.
Oh, yeah, and that's
like
I think the only footage they shot.
The only footage they ever had of him
featured in it.
But then the difference also was that Every Second Counts was done by Savan, who is a documentarian. I mean, that's how he got in. That's how his role with CrossFit started.
Did you ever see Pulling John?
Oh yeah,
movie?
I love that movie. It was very good.
So
it's a very interesting documentary.
Yeah, and Savan is a real filmmaker, and Savan has lately just been doing these super extended behind the scenes CrossFit Games thing, which are fine for what they are there. But I think you can't just A soulless corporation can't generate art. I know that because I work for a soulless corporation that's trying to generate art. So I know that can't actually be done.
You won't talk about a transgender weightlifter, but you will fucking
Put back in the hole with you, Armen. Back in the hole.
I mean, that was really quick.
All right.
Fucking hate you guys.
Armen.
Fucking, honestly.
Because sadly, one of those two things is more dangerous for our well-being, and it's not shit. It's not like talking smack about the very place we work. It's the other thing that actually is a greater existential threat. But what I will say is that that's not true though about the about Flow or about it, because I mean ESPN does amazing work with 30 for 30 and everything like that, and that's just a soulless corporation. The problem I think is just that CrossFit is a product that CrossFit, the company, is selling,
right?
And so it's like
they're trying to make
it's a borderline. It's a borderline. It can't be even like when ESPN is telling a story for 30 for 30. It's not the story that's at hand is not a product they're selling unless it happens to be about basketball, football, hockey, or baseball.
Sure. The analogy doesn't hold because if ESPN, ESPN isn't making a movie about the history of ESPN, because that's sort of what these CrossFit documentaries are. And I was sort of just joking about Flow. We try to do real art, kind of, sort of. Because if ESPN were doing a feature-length documentary about the history of ESPN this year and had to do a new one every year, that's what it would be like. So it's CrossFit doing a documentary about CrossFit every year and trying to make it interesting. And not, It'll
be interesting to see how long they sustain this, if they follow this up with if they continue to try and do one of these every year.
If they just keep doing it every year, you'd hope that they would kind of learn and develop and change their deal, right? Because the first one was notable because they spent all that money on that Junkie XL track from Fury Road. Like they licensed, they licensed Brothers in Arms from Fury Road so they can use it. That's another song that was like really popular at the time, some like trap hip hop beat or something. Anyway, and then the Heber's brother did like the soundtrack.
They did
for
some
it.
original score there.
They did that for Froning, the Froning movie as well. But it's like even that didn't really do a great job of like being a movie. So much of it kind of came back down to just being a commercial for CrossFit.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not going to be a real movie unless the people making it have the freedom to be able to tell the subjects of the documentary, portray the subjects of the documentary in whatever light they want to, including a poor light, which they're not going to.
Right.
It's like the point of view of a documentary has to exist, and the point of view can't be limited to just making everything look all awesome and stuff. Amongst the possible options in a point of view isn't, man, this Dave Castro guy is a real asshole. It's like that cannot be a possible. It's not opened as an optional point of view.
No one does.
No one thinks that. So I don't know what you're trying to say.
And this is true.
I would love to see a King of Kong-esque a CrossFit documentary, like the underdog against the establishment type deal.
That would be for Grid.
Well.
Put Cliff in the hole.
Oh, right.
Cliff's going in the hole.
God damn it, Cliff.
Oh no, we put Armen.
You guys fucking suck. No matter what I do. Jesus.
This is pretty soon. It's just going to be me up here on the surface. This podcast is going really well.
Yes.
You guys.
Yeah,
it's going really well.
It's going great. Speaking of Dave Castro. He put out a hint for 17.5. Of course, by the time this comes out, everyone's going to know what 17.5 is. But
an impressionistic painting of a white wall.
That's very funny. No, it was a knife inside of a steak.
A knife?
It's like a knife stuck inside of a steak.
Cool.
So
it'll be a meady work. At this point, they have just jumped the shark, and they mean absolutely nothing.
It means something to Dave, but who knows? Who's going to be able to read that and figure it out?
What was this? What was the cute? Oh yeah, it was like for the last one, it was like a city with a emergency exit for 17.4. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah, who
Well,
I don't.
We were able to figure it out off of that apparently. So,
Apparently, this is true. Important. Much credit to be given that Armen and Cliff completely called 17.4.
But mostly Cliff.
But mostly Cliff called 17.4. You can check the record, everybody. I actually did go back and listen to it, and just like you both chime in saying, hey, repeating 16.4 would be a good repeat workout. That might be the thing, and boom, it fucking happened.
It's because they were listening to us, and they decided to do
they
that.
did.
And now Castro also said at the cool-down show after the workout, after 17.4 was done, that 17.5 would also be easy to predict at this stage. So I'm wondering, okay, guys, what's the easiest thing to predict?
Thrusters and rowing.
Thrusters and rowing.
Yep,
Ah.
that is the easiest.
Has there been a thruster and rowing workout?
Yeah, 15.5.
15.5. What was that workout?
27, 21, 15, 9.
Oh, I remember that.
thrusters.
Right. God, that sounds shitty.
It's terrible. Actually, the end result of that was one of the best pieces of media that CrossFit's ever put out, which was the Rich Froning, Matt Frazier. Like they followed both of them during that event to see which one of them is going to win the Open, and they both do it, and they both kind of like play around with the videographers, like, oh, you know what his score is, right? Like, I'm not fucking redoing it, and they like they're texting
I do remember
each other.
this now. I haven't thought about this.
Yeah.
Real quick, you guys, real quick. Have there been double unders yet?
There haven't been double unders yet.
So you know, it's going to be thrusters and double unders.
I mean, you'd have to do a lot of fucking thrusters and double unders if you wanted to do that to make double unders even worth including in that workout.
In that particular dynamic.
You know what I mean?
But
Like you want the last workout to really sort of hammer in the fact that the fittest are going to be making it to regionals, and I'm not sure if double unders is really the tool of choice for separating the fittest from the not fittest.
it'll be 11.1 or 10.1. What was the first open workout? It was 75 pound snatches
and double unders.
That
was actually a pretty tough workout.
That was a tough workout.
A lot of people did well on that workout. Did well in regionals. But you know, I mean, listen, you can include double unders. My thing is, the last few years have all ended. The last workout has always included thrusters. Every single version of the last workout of the Open has always had thrusters.
Really?
The
Interesting.
first two were thrusters and pull-ups. The third one was also thrusters and pull-ups, but a different variation. The fourth one was thrusters and burpees. The fifth one was thrusters and rowing. The sixth one was thrusters and burpees again. And the last three particularly have been especially bad. I've been like especially bad. Thrusters and burpees, thrusters and rowing. So in my opinion, the way that you make this even fucking worse is you make thrusters, rowing, and burpees. And if you really want to fuck people up, do dumbbell thrusters. Since we've already proven that everyone has pairs of 50s and 35s.
Oh, it is going to be dumbbell thrusters though,
Make
isn't
it dumbbell thrusters. And
because of the dumbbells have been have factored in so heavily.
Just
at
fucking
this
crush
point.
everyone's soul. Because dumbbell thrusters suck.
Yes.
They suck. They're also tough to judge because the lockout point isn't ultra clear.
You know, that doesn't stop them. Tough to judge does not stop CrossFit from, making these like redonkulous standards that no one can fucking uphold. Even the guy who writes them, Adrian Bosman, is like confused with his own standards.
By the way, how is that? You did this last workout here,
Yes.
I assume, with the handstand push-ups.
Yes.
I've never actually done the handstand push-ups to this standard before. It looks like it's impossible.
Well, no. So here's the thing: it becomes impossible if you do one of two things. If your handstand push-ups are super wide, like if you have like a really wide stance with your arms, it becomes very difficult. Or if you lose your like midline during your handstand push-ups, like a la Brooke Wells. Right. If you're actually doing handstand push-ups in a pretty decent, decent form, like keeping your core stable and like your trunk in some position that resembles healthy, and you have like anywhere within, just outside of your shoulders to into your shoulders on your handstand push-ups, it's totally doable. The only thing you have to start remembering at that point is that you can't point your toes. You have to pull your toes back.
Oh, because it makes sure
because
it's
your heels, right? And if you point your toes, your heels are like closer to the ground. If you pull your toes, your heels are higher.
Is that why we see some people like putting up their kind of half bent arms up on the thing?
I mean, honestly,
when they're setting
this
the tape.
fucking standard is it's so much. People always find ways to cut corners. I mean, last year during that overhead lunge workout and the burpee workout, some OPEX people took it upon themselves to like load the bar with like 5-pound plates. You remember that? They did the bar with like 5-pound like the metal plates, so their burpees were over like a shorter bar instead of.
That's clearly like
that's They have an uncommon movements clause in the rule book, which is basically if you do something that isn't specifically said it's wrong, but is obviously fucking to break the rules, like they can still catch you for it. And you know they got penalized. Those people got penalized for it. But like, you know, this like handstand push-up standard is horse shit. It's like. Brooke Wells
I saw that video you sent to me.
Destroyed in Mexico City by these handstand push-ups. Like she got a bunch of no reps. Her back was like crazy arched. She wasn't in a position to like get her heels over the line regularly. Redoes the workout, puts out a video of her like getting her mark set, and her elbows are legit just like obviously
like
fucking
this.
bent. Yeah. Like it's not even. She's not even fucking trying.
It's kind of like she's standing
elbows.
Away from the wall and like reaching at it with her forearm, you know, like this when they set the tape.
She fucking put that video out herself. It's egregiously bad.
Now, did she get penalized for that? In some
no,
way?
Man. Fuck it.
Because she's Brooke Wells.
She's Brooke Wells. It flies.
I need to see this. So in the video she put up her redoing it.
She put a video of her redoing it, and she shows in the very beginning. She shows her setting her mark for her handstand push-ups, and the rule is your elbows have to be locked, your feet have to be generally under your hips, and you can't be like pulling your shoulders down. Like you have to be like up against the wall, hands over your head, elbows locked, and she's like this, her elbows are at like a 45-degree angle. She's like, this is good, right? And then if you look at the reps on her handstand push-ups, her heels are barely fucking going over the line. It's like, oh, okay, so that's why, right? Because you shorten it as much as possible so that you don't have to get your back in a good position.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like maybe the tape marker's a bit aggressive in terms of the standard, or what is the now? There's a tape on the floor. I don't.
Yeah, there's like a box on the floor. I'm not sure what the box on the floor was supposed to do either. Like, you know, the box on the floor ideally is supposed to do the exact same thing that the mark on the wall does, right? It's supposed to keep you in a position where you can't go super wide and do those like cheaty handstand push-ups from a long time ago. But, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of people arguing like, oh, you know, we don't do kettlebell swings in the open because they're really tough to judge. And it's like, really? Are they fucking easier to judge? Are they harder to judge than these handstand push-ups? Yeah. Like, are they harder to judge than the dumbbell snatches? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that part of maybe the reason that they make the standards as rigorous, and I'm just bullshitting here, but then allow them to be skirted slightly is just so they have the authority to curtail people who. Curtail the scores of people who find inventive ways of getting around these movements or doing them in an honest way. Because there's always something. There's always some way to figure it out. And there's always some way to cheat on the thing, to cheat a
people
movement.
Will, especially when there's like, especially when people put so much value into doing well in the open, there's always going to be, someone who finds a way to cut corners in the system. And it's like, listen, the Brooke Wells example is just particularly egregious because, you know, of getting all those no reps at the live announcement, redoing it, obviously she had to redo it. Yeah. Redoing the workout.
See, I didn't watch the live announcement. I didn't even realize that she was on
the live announcement. She got like 224 reps. On her redo, she got like 300 reps.
Okay, and so she was being actively no repped during the thing.
Yeah, but another part of her score at the live announcement not being very good was because they're at Mexico City. So it's like 9,000 feet elevation or something like that. Right. So of course they're gonna be a lot worse than they would be, at their home box where there's actually oxygen. But, you know, another big part of it is that she can have, you know, her normal judge in her normal gym, you know, measure the mark for handstand push-ups however she wants. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people did that.
Yeah, I thought it was particularly, what made it particularly egregious was when she walked into the room to set the marker wearing shoes on her knees, just walking in little midget style with shoes on her knees. I felt that was... While not expressly forbade in the standards, I feel that perhaps.
By the way, the uncommon movements clause.
Guys, I just thought of a fun way to cheat a little bit on it. It's too late now. Yeah. But
for next time.
Next time.
To measure the height wearing no shoes or just minimal shoes,
Oh,
then to put on Olympic lifting
That's actually
shoes.
directly against the rules.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Really?
rules say
Olympic
you have
shoes.
to be wearing the shoes that you're going to be wearing, and
That's
you have to
bullshit.
be on the same surface that your hands are going to be on.
Yeah. Well, either way, you should
So you
wear some
can't, like-
flat fucking shoes, I guess, just because every little bit helps. But I guess your heel
Or
length.
no, because you use Olympic lifting shoes for the extra lift on the heel to get the heel above the line.
Right, but
Stilettos.
it makes you taller
Yes,
when
when
you're
you do. So
measuring
really,
it.
I know,
it doesn't
I know.
matter.
We need to work. We can do some trigonometry here to figure out how you can get an advantage out of that.
I've got an idea on how you can get an advantage here. Get better at handstand push-ups.
Yes, fitness is the answer apparently. Here's my strategy: you bow leg it. You stand on the sides of your feet. You see, on the edges while you set the marker. Nothing about bow legging. You know, if you have some bow legs, you can do the thing. Let's see what I'm getting here.
Fucking hate you guys so much. So much.
Back in the hole. He's not going to talk into the mic now.
I mean, you can say fucking midget and... Oh, God damn it!
Back in the hole, Armen.
I don't have anything else to talk about, guys. Fucking hole. This is fucking stupid.
Sorry.
Can I get out of the hole now, please? Okay.
All right, let him
I'm
out.
letting you out of the hole.
All right.
Jesus.
Well, we've taken all the wind out of Armen's sails.
Yeah,
now.
man, my
He's
sails
simmered
have no
down.
more wind. I have nothing else to talk about. I've lost all the things that I had to talk about because I wanted to talk about.
Well, you did 17.4 or 17?
Yeah, 17.4. I did
How was
17.4.
How was it, Armen?
It was good. I improved.
Did Giannis beat you?
Giannis fucking destroyed me, dude. It wasn't even close.
Yes.
So last year I got 22 handstand push-ups. This year with a ball and 26 handstand push-ups and more than a minute slower to the wall. So I don't know what that means. I think it just means that I'm really fucking out of shape and yet slightly more efficient with my handstand push-ups. I'd say that's probably what it means.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was more than a minute slower to the wall and got 4 more handstand push-ups. Last year, Giannis got 11 handstand push-ups, I want to say, and this year he got 48.
Jesus.
Yeah. So on Monday morning, I he didn't get a chance to do it over the weekend. So on Monday morning, we went to the gym and actually we filmed it like the way he would if he was going to be like submitting a score. He did submit a score with a video, and you can see it. It's on his profile, but like. We like showed the measurement, we like showed the wall ball and stuff. We shot it, and he crushed it. And 48 handstand push-ups is
Where is Giannis
really
sitting
fucking
in the rankings
Yeah.
now? He's got to be doing pretty good.
I think in our region he's like 500th something, like 550, 560. I want to say. Which is,
I
he's
can be as fit as Giannis and still have no chance
No-
whatsoever.
yeah.
Like not even by even if Giannis improved by significantly, he would
Right.
still
He
have
wouldn't
no
even have a
chance of
chance.
going to regionals.
yeah. Just imagine that.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
imagine that. So yeah, Giannis crushed it. 48
Yeah.
48 handstand push-ups. I'm considering he really was not good at handstand push-ups last year at all. I mean, those 11 handstand push-ups were like a struggle for him.
Yeah.
It's a really impressive, a very impressive margin of improvement.
How long has he been doing CrossFit?
A couple years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years, 3
Son
years
of
maybe.
a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a rugby player for a long time, so he had fitness.
What does that have to do with fitness?
Right. Good question.
Fitness is about being able to pull a barbell over above your head in one smooth motion. That's it.
Fitness, broad general fitness is about being very good at weightlifting.
Broad generalized fitness is about being able to swing a jump rope under your feet 3 times in a row over and over again
with
for
your
2
special
minutes.
triple under rope.
Exactly.
It's
with
how
a speed
Armen
rope.
got fitter this year, because
That's right.
Armen's fitness improvement in fitness, this workout, consists of improving your skill
Yes.
in handstand push-ups against a wall
Yes.
while having your overall heart and lung and muscular capacity decrease.
Yeah.
Significantly.
It's for all the other things.
But and the reason he is fitter now is because of how important inversion is. Inversion and frictionless planes.
The key is to be upside down
Yes.
with very special shoes,
Like the cavemen.
like the cavemen were.
Like the cavemen were upside down more than you think. So if you've ever seen how you use an atlatl I don't know.
A what?
What do they call those things? That's a thing. What's it called? An atlet and an addle blah blah.
I have no fucking idea.
What are you talking about?
An addle.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
An abita zabita. It's that thing. It was a caveman tool for hunting. It's like where a hunter-gatherer tool for
An
hunting.
axe.
It's where you have it's like a throwing flail that actually throws a spear.
What?
It throws a spear. I'm serious. Yeah. It's
Have
like
you ever heard of this?
So, so you're talking. Okay, I don't want to.
You don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Giannis crushed it. You know, actually, new guy Chase, who works for Flow now.
Addle, spear thrower.
Addle. Why the hell does it have such a stupid name?
It has a dumb name. I don't know. A spear thrower, or addle, is a tool that uses leverage to achieve greater velocity in dart throwing, includes bearing surface, blah, 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 blah.
Right, so we're watching this video of this dude, an Addle. Oh, ATL.
Yeah,
Addle,
that's weird.
Addle.
Hot Lana.
AT, we get it.
So, all right, this dude's got a stick, and he's
I don't think this is a good video.
jerking the stick off. What is happening?
Daniel,
All right,
play
he's
a better
cutting-
video.
Could you please just skip to where he uses the goddamn thing?
That's a long way away. He's still with branches.
That's like a tree branch and a pocket knife, which, by the way,
better video, Daniel.
how are you fucking making an Addle without a pocket knife?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, hold on. Show me this guy using it. Oh, okay. I think I understand how that works now.
Yeah.
It's basically like a handle you attach to the bottom end of your spear.
Yes.
And you fold the handle over across the length of the spear. So as you're throwing it, it increases the length of the lever that you are utilizing.
Yeah,
to
and
throw
I
the
only know
spear.
about it because Joe Rogan, like when he goes like caveman, he's gone like caveman hunting with like Rob Wolf, where like they use like they make their own addles or whatever.
What the fuck?
And like actually
Really?
they actually like killed, like I think he said that like the Rob Wolf like killed an elk with one of these, and so it's like
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He should retire from manhood.
Yeah.
At that point, you don't really need to
At
do
the point,
anything
and,
else.
like, you have to, like,
create
get up-
your own addle.
yeah, you have to get up close, and then it like amplifies the power of
Yeah.
the throwing arm, so you can
It's
throw
just
a dart
the
through.
the odd thing about this is I'm sure it was a useful invention at the time, but this came no doubt just before they invented the bow and arrow. It's like no doubt this
and
was
by
popular.
just you mean
Like
4,000
tens of
years.
thousands of years before the bow and arrow.
No, but
Yeah.
bow and arrow we're talking 20, 30,000 years ago.
Yeah.
There's like 30 to 40,000 years ago.
Okay, so it's
And
just
then
a 10,000 year
just
delta.
a few thousand years.
Probably not useful at all for those 10,000 years.
Take the history-
addle was.
Take the history of America, multiply it by 20, and that's about the duration of time. So really a negligible period.
Right,
of
it's a
time.
very small period of time in the development of tools.
A blip, geologically speaking. Line from King Kong 1977.
What? That's not a memorable line from that.
Yeah,
Kyle.
she just like a word from every movie ever. So yes, that is an addle.
An
Chase,
addle,
new
wow.
guy, Flow Elite, new guy, content marketer Chase. He went from 9 handstand push-ups last year to 46 handstand push-ups this year, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
But I also think that he might have the record for fastest tiebreaker, like fastest time off the wall without having finished his handstand push-ups, which would make him the fittest, worst handstand push-upper in the world, which is impressive because he got off the wall. He got to the wall at like 6:30,
Oh, really?
which is half of the 13 minutes you are allotted for this workout. So
Wow.
in 6.5 minutes, he did 55 deadlifts, 55 wall ball, and a 55 calorie row.
Yeah.
And then in 6.5 minutes, he did 46 handstand push-ups.
If I did those first 3 movements in that amount of time, I also would have collapsed completely and
Right.
not been able to. But then again, I wouldn't have been able to do them anyway.
So in my opinion, he should kind of be proud of that. He should be proud of being the fastest, worst handstand push-upper.
He's the
in
fastest
the
guy
world.
to ever do 46 handstand push-ups in that workout. Or
yeah,
something.
probably.
Or
I don't know.
something.
Probably. I think that's worth finding.
Yeah.
But either way, I thought it was a really good workout. I thought it was a good workout last year. I thought it was a good workout again this year. I think it fits really well with what we've seen this year. And I'm surprised that some of the same people didn't do as well as they did last year, but like the differences are negligible. It doesn't really make a difference. Like, Noah did really well, but Josh Bridges did really well. This was the same workout last year that Josh Bridges had that huge fucking, everyone had a conniption fit with his deadlifts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. So this is actually the workout last year that took Bridges out of winning the Open.
Yeah.
You know, he got that big penalty and therefore got bumped down the leaderboard.
What happens is when they set the tape for his deadlift, his arms were bent like this.
Right.
That's what caused the
The
problem.
tape for his deadlift.
The tape for his deadlifts.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
New deadlift standard. You do it with your butt against a wall, and you have to touch your head to some tape on the wall behind you.
that'd be legit.
Is this a redemption for Bridges? I assume he
Crushed it. He did like 320 something reps.
A lot of people were questioning his fitness, but he proved them wrong.
Yeah. So many people just thought to themselves, if it wasn't for his cheating, I would have beaten him.
That's right.
And
That's
all
what
of those
happens.
people were wrong.
Yes.
And so were everybody else.
Yeah.
Because the essence of fitness is getting from holding a weight not quite locked out to going like that.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 17.4 is done and over with. I think again it was a pretty decent workout. I watched Travis Williams and Alexis Johnson do it.
Yes,
And
how did that go?
They crushed it. That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun to see.
Video coming soon to flowelite.com.
Yes, and that was pretty cool. They're beasts, so
Yeah.
it's always fun to watch them crush that workout. It's interesting to see like the pacing that they take because it looks so effortless. Like it always looks effortless until
Yeah.
the workout's over and they're on their back.
Yeah.
And then compared that pacing to like a normal person like me, and
Who was also on his back.
who's also on his back at the end of the workout. By the time to put it in perspective, by the time I got off the row to get onto the handstand push-ups, they had each already finished a full round. It's like they'd finished their handstand push-ups and were starting their deadlifts.
Yeah.
Nuts is fucking right. It's pretty fucking crazy.
I'm just thinking, where were you sandbagging at, Armen? Where was it? Where? Okay, where? Actually, I am seriously asking this. Where in those first three movements were you way, way slower than games athletes?
Well, I definitely rode slower than they did.
Yeah.
But I think it all started with the deadlifts.
Yeah.
My lower back locked up from deadlift
You
2.
You didn't do all 55 at once?
I decided not to do one set of 55 for a couple reasons.
Yeah.
Like, the number one reason being I can't.
Yes.
The number two reason being I also can't.
Well, if you could, that means that you could also deadlift 700.
700. That's right. I've heard that. I've heard that. I don't know
Someone
where
said
I've
that.
heard that from, but I've heard
Somewhere.
that. I probably heard that from the same fucking people who won't talk about transgender
That's
sports.
exactly.
Anyway,
Back in the
I'm not in the
hole.
hole. I'm not in the hole. I'm still out.
Back in the hole. Well,
Have I said it enough? I fucking hate you guys so much.
there's so much more room up here now. All right.
Fuck you guys.
Fitness. Fitness. Okay, so but I think you posted like a video with Travis Williams where he was saying something to the effect that, like, you had posted like an Instagram video or something where Travis was like, I think the key is like go really fast, or go really hard or something like that. It was like good. Thank you,
his
Travis.
advice was like go fast on the first three movements so that you have time for the handstand push-ups, but don't go so fast that you can't do handstand push-ups very well.
Gotcha.
Which is
Those are both true, I guess.
It's advice, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
That is advice.
It's definitely advice.
Yes,
You
but
know,
I would say that my advice would be, slow down. You don't need to hurt yourself. It's just competitive exercise.
Right.
That's the advice I would give for most people.
that is a key part of fitness
Yes.
that a lot of people are forgetting.
Mhm.
The people who are doing this workout multiple times over and over again and who aren't within spitting distance of top 20
Yeah.
are wasting their lives.
Yes.
You need to smack him in the face. With
Yeah,
the glove.
Yeah.
we all know,
Mhm.
that someone who does that. You know what I mean? Someone who like really just believes in their heart of hearts that this is their year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't. I
actually
don't
don't.
know
I don't-
anyone.
you don't know?
like
Oh
that.
well, you guys.
You know a lot more people who are in that
Yeah.
world than we do.
You guys aren't.
I just know
actively
Ray, that's it.
X-fitting. Yeah. There's a lot of people in every gym. There's someone who's like just I know it. This is it. This is my year. I can fucking feel it.
Yeah, I that is true. Actually, at our old gym, like there were definitely guys who were like cycling their years to get their strength numbers up and like doing stuff, and it was just kind of like it's just like, and then only to end up like only 1,000 places out of regionals.
Only
or
1,000 places out of regionals.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, and there's certain people, they just have gifts, like my father, the 33rd fittest man.
How did he do on this workout?
Actually, I have no idea. I haven't checked in. He's in town now, actually.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see him later today.
Guest on the podcast.
That'd be great.
We can have the 31st.
Oh, and he is experienced on mic now because he does the an Indian real estate
show. Indian commercial real estate podcast.
That's
radio show.
Radio show.
Yes.
I'm sorry, radio show. Yes.
He speaks English, but it is an Indian radio station.
Yeah.
Like Dot or Feather.
Back in the hole.
That one was worth it. That was worth it.
Yeah, no, that was that's fine. No one will get mad at us for making fun of those people.
It's okay to offend them now. Well, they'll get more sensitive later.
That's not in vogue at the moment. But no, it's it's in Hindi. So like he says some stuff, right? Is it like he says stuff? I haven't
it's an Indian radio station for the Indian American community, but apparently Indian Americans have a unique thing in that they're all really rich and like to invest in real estate. And so he is a guest or co-hosts a podcast or radio show rather about investing in real estate for the Indian community.
You guys, I hate to break it to you, but he has a 0.
I guess he
didn't enter a score. Oh, no.
I think he is teaching a class this week, so maybe that's why he wasn't able to, or he didn't get it submitted. I'll have to talk to him about that today.
Go to the worldwide leaderboard. So I'm going to have Daniel look up Chase's score because I really do want to know whether he's the fastest. So go.
Wait, what region does Chase compete at?
I don't know if he's competing in our region. Keep going up. Go to men on the division.
Good moment to remind everyone to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see the visual version
Chase
of this podcast.
Long is who you're looking for. So new guy Chase is currently sitting in 3,875th place in the world.
Nice.
So scroll up for a second, and I want you to organize it by. So keep going up, keep going. You're gonna go workout sort by 17.4. Sort. There you go. 17.4. We've got to see whether he's the type because there's. Oh, someone got to the wall faster than him.
Oh,
wow.
Where? I don't see.
Jacob Schneider. Click that guy right above him. So he beat him on the tiebreak. 543? That dude sucks at fucking handstand push-ups.
Well, he's probably tall. Is he tall?
He's 6 foot, 209. See, that's fair.
Yeah.
But 543 is pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
That's faster than what's his face? That's faster than Travis Williams. Travis Williams is just under the 6-minute mark.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Guy also has devil horns.
No, that's Pukey the
Clown. Yeah.
We don't talk about Pukey the Clown.
Not enough anymore.
So we have one more week in the Open, and it looks as if all is working the way we expected it to be. The people who we thought would be in the lead are in the lead, and the people who
is winning right now?
Right now on the men's side is Matt Frazier, and on the women's side is Carrie Pierce.
Never heard of her.
Oh yeah, that I am very excited about. Carrie Pierce being first in the Open now. I'm going to call it early.
Podium?
I'm going to call it early. No, I'm going to say wins the games.
You're going to say Carrie Pierce wins the games based off of her Open performance?
Based on her performance over the last several years, based on 5th place last year after like a year and a half in CrossFit, and now after 2.5 years in CrossFit, wins the Open, has a couple of games under her belt now.
Last year?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's now a will be a 3-time games athlete.
Yes.
Has rapidly improved here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to call as an early call.
Dark horse pick, Carrie Pierce.
Very early dark horse pick.
I still win forever because my dark horse pick several years ago was this new guy, Rich Froning. Called it way back in 2011. And I'm just gonna ride that prediction.
He wasn't a new guy in 2011.
Your dark
Actually,
horse
that's
pick.
true. He didn't win that year. He
didn't.
Just did very well.
He did win in 2011.
Sorry, I called it 2010.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. It was 2010. Yeah.
Because you watched a CrossFit video on one of the sectionals, and it was like this guy, Rich Froning.
No, I watched all the Again Faster videos on all of the regionals, and it was only in his video that when I looked at his finishes were that was when every regional was a completely different.
Exactly.
But he just like every single event when you're watching the video, like he was just destroying the whole field on everything.
By the way, that brings up a point. I do sort of wish they'd implemented that. I think that policy didn't work because there weren't enough smart people who knew how to plan shit. But I like the idea of every region sets up its own regional with its own events, because that gives an incentive to the regional planners in that region. It's like, well, if you have a really skewed test, if it's like lift heavy, lift heavy, lift heavy, and lift heavy, then the people
I'm moving to that region.
Exactly. Then the people who win that regional and get to the games are just going to be crushed at the games, so they'll be totally unprepared. So it gives an incentive to the people planning each regional to make sure they have the most well-rounded athletes getting through. The problem is, there at that time, and probably now, there just aren't that many people who are good planning and thinking about CrossFit
Or
workouts.
alternatively, every region develops its own regional competition that is bespoke to their kind of geographic conditions or geological conditions. So like the people on the coasts, it's all swimming. The people in the mountains they're lifting boulders. And so every region produces a completely different breed of athlete who then come together for a kumite of fitness.
Oh, I like that.
in the CrossFit Games. That is a plan.
Fucking hate that idea.
Yes, that's a good idea. It's like if you've ever seen The Quest, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. You got your Brazil guy.
Starring and directed by.
You've got your Japan guy. Japan will only be able to send sumo wrestlers to the game. So
Did you
that
just
will be their
reference
reference.
both Akumite and The Quest?
And The Quest, both in one.
That's
podcast,
incredible.
Yes.
Not just one podcast, like one sentence.
I
much.
want one person representing every country and a bit in a cultural stereotype therein. So we have a sumo wrestler from Japan. We have a. Let me just keep us. Am I going to go in the hole if I continue this?
You're describing Street Fighter.
Yes, exactly.
you're
That's what
describing.
I'm describing. A Street Fighter. Everyone from Brazil is green and full of electricity.
Yes. And the guy from America is just a bad blonde copy of the guy from Japan.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
perfect. Yes, that is a thing that you just said, and that is as far as I will go with that statement.
That's right.
Yes. Actually, Sectionals in 2010 brought us a lot of really interesting workouts. Of course, you have Street Fighter 2 coming out here right now.
Ooh,
Good deal. Sectionals brought us some really interesting workouts, which to this day, actually one of the coolest workouts I've seen. I don't know if you guys remember, probably not. The Hawaii Sectional had an event they called the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet was Jackie.
Man, that is an old sentence for CrossFit. The Hawaii Sectional.
Right.
There was Sectionals, what, 2 years?
No, just the 1 year.
Just the 1 year.
Yeah,
Okay,
just the 1
yeah.
year.
Hawaii Sectional.
The Hawaii Sectionals. So they had, or maybe they had Sectionals again. I don't remember. I don't think so. No, they didn't have Sectionals. The Open was 2011. So Hawaii Sectionals had a workout called the Gauntlet, and to this day, it's still one of the hardest workouts. I mean, it's a soul crusher. It's Jackie, so 1,000-meter row, 50 thrusters, empty barbell, 30 pull-ups. Immediately into Carabel, 10 rounds of 15 wall ball, 3 snatches at 135.
Okay.
And then
Carabel?
Isabel plus Karen. So it's 150 wall ball and 30 snatches. But
Somehow
it splits
seems
10
easier than both of those things.
Yes,
even
it's
though
not.
it's both of them.
It's
just like at least you get to break it up.
Carabel is horrific.
Yeah.
Wait,
it was 50, 50, 50, 50?
No.
Sorry,
So it's
10.
It's Jackie
right.
into
Okay.
10 rounds of 15 wall ball, 3 snatches.
15 wall ball. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, 10 rounds, right.
10 rounds.
That's a lot of rounds.
15 wall ball, 3 snatches.
Gotcha.
Those are some teeny ass sets.
In the remaining, you should do it tonight. In the remaining
We should.
period of time, so it's a 30-minute workout. In the remaining period of time, it's Cindy. So your score is your reps of Cindy. And
that's going to generate some pretty good soreness at the end of that.
in 2010, so they would not score you if you did not get a single pull-up. So your score would be 0. If you didn't get to Cindy, your score was 0. And in
it's
2010
incentive.
at Sectionals, like a good score was like 10 rounds.
Wow.
Which is still pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to
That's-
get it.
that's
10
solid.
rounds of Cindy is hard enough for me to do.
Getting
in 20 minutes.
Anytime we ever programmed the Gauntlet, I would tell people, like, if you can get one pull-up, you're fitter than 95% of humanity, maybe more.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you program that for normal people to do. That's
Once or
nerds.
twice.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
actually like Jackie's a good workout.
Jackie's a very good workout.
It is. The
Jackie.
problem
It's
is
fun.
that Jackie has the 50 thrusters with a barbell, which, fine. you're then doing 150 wall ball shots.
Right.
Yeah.
To then
Yes.
go into yet more
Yeah.
air squats.
Yes.
You see, any one of those elements alone would generate pretty goddamn good leg soreness the next day.
Yeah. I find once I get pretty deep into doing wall ball shots, any set of 15 is hard.
Right.
Not like, especially when you're also doing, you will have by that point done, 15 or so 135-pound snatches to
Right.
just break it up.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty brutal workout. So here, let's see. Daniel, can you bring up our iTunes? Let's see if we can get into those reviews.
Reviews.
Last week we had a lot of really good reviews, and you've been listening to the Hamilton soundtrack. How is it?
Does that surprise you?
Is it good?
It doesn't.
It's fantastic.
This is the only part I know. Alexander Hamilton, because he says that in the song.
Once or
Does.
twice. So we're
Just you
still
wait.
on our quest
Just you
to get to 100 reviews.
100. And just to let everyone know, we are at how many currently? We're at
57.
We're at 57. You're disappointing me, everybody.
Yeah,
we're at
that's
57
a
five-star
lot
reviews.
less than I expected it to be.
Yes.
There's only 2 new ones.
There's only 2 new ones.
Listen,
but one of them seems
guys.
kind of long.
Yes.
Wow.
We're never going to make it to pre-workout roulette unless the people pull your heads out of your asses. Get on iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review. We can get to 100. We will do pre-workout roulette.
Yes, we will. So here we go. 5-star review from Tom Waits. This is definitely my current favorite jiu-jitsu podcast. Even though I can't tell the Bogart brothers apart, I still love listening to their alternatively absurd and thoughtful ramblings and rants about important things like leading a healthy and fulfilling life or the many nuanced contradictions inherent within the Marvel multiverse. I can't stand all these fit men who flex their pecs and earnestly discuss proper nutrition and warm-up strategies on so many podcasts. All us chunky nerds out here every day snatching like dummies and getting all these aches and pains and never even once getting close to the 7th place glory of a local throwdown. We don't need advice from the 2013 10th place regional finisher. We need you, the below average everyman.
Yes.
Armen, the jiu-jitsu master. Cliff, the man who sweats too much when calmly sitting in an air-conditioned room.
Yes.
Kyle, the one
Yes.
replacing mild alcoholism with an eating disorder.
Sure am.
Parentheses, maybe I mixed them up. You sound like you look the same too. And of course, Daniel, who is a manlet but probably is actually all right, even though we all know he has really emotional hair.
Manlet. There we go.
What is manlet?
It's like a piglet.
That's a
but
Daniel.
man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's,
A manlet.
it's how we're all like the Russian doll.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
Keep
you go.
keep up the good work, you thick geeks. You are both
Thick as
the
hell.
heroes we deserve and the heroes we need. Sincerely, Eddie Hall, former competitive swimmer. I might
Nice.
just grab that and turn that into the description of the podcast.
That would actually be
fucking awesome.
that is far better than whatever description is on there.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
some that is quality. And yes, you did get it accurate. Cliff is the sweaty one, and I am the one who is trading addictions currently. So
Yes.
But at the same time, Kyle also sweats, and I'm also trading addictions too.
So-
We just don't talk about each thing as
the
much.
Venn diagram is a circle. Yeah,
Just
but you're very
like
good.
time.
Yeah, and if you're having trouble telling us apart, might I suggest watching on YouTube, because we sure do have a lot of lights and cameras around there. Hello, YouTube audience.
I'm the one you can't see because I'm behind Armen right now.
And I'm the handsome one.
All right. And then the next 5-star review is from Graham30. Graham 30. The epitome of a CrossFit podcast. 5 stars. Although I'm not sure if technically we're allowed to say that, but I'll take that. I can smell the sweat of success as these 3 men spit some true knowledge about random jibber jabber at you.
Cool.
Graham, you sound foreign, and I love it. Just spitting some true knowledge about random jibber jabber makes me feel like that phrase is
Graham
it
is
doesn't seem American.
Graham is
I like
actually
it.
the sheik that runs the Dubai competition.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, I must say that the The 2 reviews that we got today made up for the fact that we didn't get a lot of reviews.
is
They were
true.
both
Oh, yes.
very good.
Tom Waits, that is a masterpiece of a review.
It's
Yeah, it is actually
fantastic.
good. And it's a good name too, Tom, because the weights is spelled like weights,
Weights,
like the things
yes.
you lift.
Right.
That's a nice handle. That's
So
perfect for fitness.
do not forget, if you are listening, and I know plenty of you are, and we really appreciate every single one of you that are listening, do us a favor, get onto iTunes, leave a 5-star review, and when we get to 100 reviews, we are going to do
rails of blow off of the table.
the worst
in
fucking
here.
idea ever. Slightly worse than that idea is our pre-workout roulette.
You have no idea
Pre-workout
how
roulette.
much I'm looking forward to mixing
It's
up.
going to be
that
so good, you guys.
pre-workout roulette.
And it sounds like it's a long way away, but we can make this happen in 2 weeks. We just need, like, what, 25 of you per week? Easy peasy.
Easy
Do
peasy.
It now.
All 25 of you listening right now.
And we'll
Make
get
a fake account. Do
all
another
25
one.
of you will get a tote bag that says scale is needed if you leave a 5-star review. That is a promise. Tote bags.
And hey, guys, you really don't, if you're intimidated by, having to compose a well-thought-out review, you really don't have to. Just put 5 stars and say, fuck you, as your review, and that's it. It
Exactly.
counts.
that does
Totally
count.
counts.
It does totally count.
That does count. And I
So-
believe that would also be voted up as the most helpful review
It sure
as
would.
well.
And so that again is fuck you, comma, Cliff.
Actually, his name is Chris.
Chris. Fuck
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Chris.
Fuck
Ooh.
you, Chris.
The Chris is a fuck you in itself. So there we
But
go.
I think we do need to request this as the review. Everyone, if you want to see us drink pre-workouts, quick, go 5-star review, fuck you, Chris, as the review.
Yeah. How many fuck you Chris's can we get by next week?
Uh-huh.
Seriously.
Can we get 25 fuck you, Chris's by next week? Then we're on the right track.
So that iTunes will shut us down and kick us off of the
Fantastic.
podcast store.
Your social medias, gentlemen.
I am at Mr. Kyle Bogart on a really active and sexy Instagram account,
Yeah.
and sometimes Twitter.
I'm at Hetero Bear on a completely inactive Twitter, and I might have to start doing the Instagram thing. I'm also on Instagram as Cliff Bogart, I believe.
What a weird name.
Although I've yet to post a single image on there.
Yeah.
I just use it to follow butts.
Yes.
Dude, you are just like 2 weeks away from your Cliff Bogart Instagram account being hacked and turned into a butt account to hack other
Oh.
pervs
Yes,
on
and
Instagram.
and of course, this episode, like all of our episodes, will end in a cliffhanger, wherein you will have to log on iTunes to vote whether or not Armen stays in the hole next week. So, Armen, we got to put you back in the hole to end this podcast.
Well, I guess you can find me at Armen Hoists. This whole fucking sucks.
we can't hear you. You're in the hole.
Tune in at the same bat time and the same bat hour to find out if Armen gets out of the hole. Batman.
we've ever done.
I know, that's a great invention that
The
can
hole
be used.
is maybe the funniest thing we've ever done. Pretty good. Pretty goddamn good. That whole opening is gold.
was so fucking bad, dude. You guys suck so much.
That whole opening of you just trying and assuming that we're going to engage on the topic.
Fuck you guys.